Hello and welcome to Grumpy Gamers. You're here with me, Pete, and along with me this week I have Ben.
Hello.
And Eddie.
Hello.
Yeah, good to have you both. No Kirk still, noticeable.
No Kirk, but he will be dipping in, I'm sure, but he's a busy boy. We've said
That is true. He is
coming up to Christmas.
Run up to Christmas. Oh yeah, I suppose that is actually going to have an impact. Fair point. Yeah, good comment.
Yeah, he's got a couple of big projects as well going on, so yeah, fair play to the lad.
Nothing else in his life, so I don't know what you'd expect him to be cancelling this podcast for. All his friends are on this podcast, so you know.
He doesn't want to spend time with his mates.
No, not at all.
And definitely not his roommate.
Well, not when he can be grinding. Anyway, we're also busy this week. We've got a pretty stocked one, haven't we?
We do.
Good news section. Quite a few new releases, although we have brutally culled some of them just now. And an intriguing what you've been playing section with Ben. You've been on Alan Wake, and me and Eddie have both played a new game, the same one at the same time.
Who'd have thought it?
I know, it's a very strange time to be alive. And our feature this week is, of course, focusing on Blizzcon. Which
of course, because
just
every other podcast out there will be focusing on Blizzcon.
They bloody better be, Ben. They better be. It's disgusting if they weren't. Plus, we've got 2 Diablo fans and a World of Warcraft player here. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It made perfect sense.
And Eddie doesn't like anything to do with it.
I have nothing, and I don't care about BlizzCon.
Yeah, exactly that. So
that's accurate.
We get to force Eddie to look at something he didn't want to, which makes it all the more enticing.
Fantastic.
But before that, we should start with the quick news.
Let's do it. Firstly, Eurogamer report that they believe the 6th of December will be Baldur's Gate 3's release date on Xbox. I know you want to play it, Eddie. Were you thinking PC? Or I don't know if you will play it this year or maybe next year, but are you thinking Xbox or are you thinking PC?
So, to your other question, I am going to try and play it before Game of the Year. But this is kind of the bad thing about getting all those great reviews. Baldur's Gate is famous for being cheap, like number 1 and number 2. Like, you can pick up any one of them with the DLCs and everything for like $2
Yeah, they're cheap as chips, yeah.
So, honestly, with Baldur's Gate 3, I was like, it's fine, it will come down in price. I think it's those scores that have just... Honestly, even if you look on all the websites now, the cheapest I found it, I looked the other day, was £35. So, I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's going to come down in price before Game of the Year.
I don't think
it will, because Christmas is a big thing. I know it's digital only. That's the only thing. Like, they won't get the Christmas buying games for people as much as a physical copy would because it's only digital. But £35 for a game like that is pretty good value. I see where you're coming from, PC player, Baldur's Gate of the past, but it's effectively a console game now. So.
Yeah, so I think I need to accept it. I will definitely get it on PC. It's very much a PC game for me, so I'm always going to do it on there. But we'll see.
I was actually going to say, I don't understand how you play it on console quite as effectively with the amount of moves you've got.
Well, to be honest, so Pete, I played it with console controls because I played it on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
The wheels work quite well. Like, it's essentially like weapon wheels, but multiple ones. I have heard people say that it's better with controller.
Those are such console fanboys saying that. There's no way. Yes. Like, on the old Baldur's Gate, you could have almost everything you can do in your left hand because you could set all the shortcuts to all the keys. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, that's... Whoever's saying that, shut the fuck up.
Well, the thing is, Eddie, to be honest, the combat for me, it's like... I was doing the same thing all the time anyway. So,
so you actually knew the L trigger left.
All these fucking things where it's like, you can win any fight, you can chuck this thing over there. I try and do that, nothing fucking happens. So,
did you play a mage by any chance, Ben? Anyway,
I did. I had a fire spell. I
was thinking, is it just fireball until it's all over?
Yeah, it's fire.
That is the classic mage way of playing.
It's fireball, fireball, fireball. And I had another fireball spell as well, but one that only had 1 or 2 goes on it. I don't know. Like the combat for me was hard to get my head around for a simpleton like myself.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. A Naughty Dog director tagged on the end of a tweet that they made that they're still working on that game. Now, that game means The Last of Us multiplayer. So, I think it was about a month ago, we talked about how the game might have been shelved or paused or iced. I didn't believe it really at the time because I just think it's too big an IP with the TV series, with the Series 2 coming out, where they're making a Last of Us Part 2 remaster or whatever as well. This is too fucking big to just not be able to do. This is the. I think I said at the time, like, this is where you go back to the team and you say, I don't care that you don't think it's possible. Do it.
Make this happen. Yes.
Do it, or we'll find people that will.
Yeah.
You have to. But yeah. Anyway, so it's still supposedly being worked on, whether that's in full production or ticking along. Who knows?
Okay.
Modern Warfare 3's campaign is 4 hours long.
A
lot of complaints this week about that one. Also, I think a lot of misguided, misplaced annoyance. I think the campaign on on Call of Duty games is a little bit of icing. I think in years gone past, it's been the main cake for a lot of people, but now nobody's buying a £70 Call of Duty game for the campaign, are they?
I don't know. I think some of them are, Ben.
That's
it's
tough
madness
knock
to me as well, because I think they're crap at storylines. But
back in the day, like Modern Warfare, like the original Modern Warfare, like that story, and Modern Warfare 2, I liked those campaigns. I thought they were brilliant.
Yeah, and that's a fair call as well. I'm deeply biased against the setting anyway. But that's not... I do think there's a significant number of people who are tied in by the campaign.
Wasn't it the one before that they didn't even release the campaign?
No, two ago, Eddie. So the one that... so Modern Warfare 2 did have a campaign, famously came back with a campaign after they ditched it in the previous one. But you are right, they did ditch one, and people complained.
I feel, yes, do you remember how much they complained? So I feel bad, because I think this is them going like, well, we'll meet you halfway. We'll do a campaign, because you all want one, but we're not going to chuck loads of resources into it. And then people are still moaning like shit.
Well, I think...
And you know what's annoying? I'm going to add this. I bet they have the figures for this, as in somehow seeing, I don't know, through focus groups, or I don't know if they can do something.
No, they'll see the figures, who plays it and who doesn't, and all that kind of shit, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they could do it through, like, achievements. Anyway, they'll have a way. So they know best. So I can't... I think people should shut up.
Yeah, this is the last of the trilogy, the Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. They've built up the story to this point. I think people were expecting a lot more, having played the last two, that it'd be a bit more in this. I think it's low on set pieces, and it's just not that engaging. It's also only 4 hours long. The thing is, you can say the campaign's not so good. A lot of people are shitting on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 now and saying like, "Oh, that's a bad game." And it's like, well, no, the campaign wasn't good, but the campaign is not the game.
Yeah.
There's the multiplayer coming, and it's releasing on the 10th. We'll talk about it in new releases. But have you seen, Eddie, the zombies mode?
No, I haven't actually.
Holy. It's like DMZ. So all the good stuff of DMZ, they have now, because DMZ was technically a beta. It's still a beta. They've made a zombies DMZ extraction mode, open world extraction mode. It looks fantastic. It's only PvE.
I actually quite like that.
I am now gonna get it. I'm in. And it's also prep for Warzone 3, obviously. So,
obviously.
But that zombies mode for me looks great.
Especially as it's PvE. Yeah, let me know what it's like, because maybe I might have to take a little dip.
I was hoping that part of it would be free to play. I've researched online, and they've kept very stum. But I assume that this is just part of the package. And for me, campaign short, people buy it for multiplayer and to prep their guns for Warzone and stuff like that. But this zombies DMZ kind of extraction mode, it's looks up my street. I chucked a load of hours into DMZ before.
Yeah,
I'll get my money's worth. So, yeah, looks good.
Nice.
Insomniac have confirmed that Spider-Man is now officially Miles Morales. So not Peter Parker from now on. And it makes sense. And it seems like they were going in that direction. Makes sense with the latest game as well. So, yeah, that's now a thing. Spider-Man is Miles Morales.
Isn't Spider-Man, like the comics, that's Peter Parker though, right? They're all Peter Parker.
No, Miles Morales is in the... He's
Oh, is
also
he?
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Oh,
He's
interesting.
also,
Never knew that.
there's like loads of them on there, and it's the different universes and all that kind of shit. But yeah, Miles Morales is a character who's like just in the lore.
Be interesting if that happens in the Marvel ones, won't it?
Yeah, they haven't got anything to do with Miles Morales in the Marvel ones, have they?
I know, but it would be interesting.
Yeah, well, seeing as they made Peter Parker look like Tom Holland.
Yes.
But yeah, Miles is the cooler character. Like he is, and yeah, the latest game does just push him as being this really fucking badass by the end. So I can definitely see why they've gone in that direction.
Cool.
But yeah, that's the thing. Now for some acquisition talk. Sony has acquired iSize, which is a UK AI company with the thoughts that it will improve their video streaming. The company aims to deliver bitrate savings and quality improvements for the media and entertainment industry, including allowing video to be streamed at a lower bitrate and using AI to upscale to higher quality.
Okay.
So there we go. Sounds like a good thing. I assume it'll be involved in video games. It might be involved in their film production stuff. I don't know. But anyway, Sony have done that. And also Xbox have acquired in-world AI to... and this is quoted, empower game creators with the potential of generative AI in dialogue, story, and quest design. I don't know what that means, but they've done that.
Yeah, generative AI will be an interesting one for dialogue, story, and quest design anyway, won't it? Like,
Yeah, especially dialogue.
yeah, you would think that's going to make for some really interesting stuff. So, very cool.
And you've got one as well,
isn't
Peter.
it?
Yeah.
I was just going to say on that, isn't it weird how they've basically done the same thing, and yet the Xbox's press release is just so much more encouraging than Sony's. Maybe because I hate Sony, but it just reads better.
Yeah.
Empower game creators with the potential of generative AI. Where was the story shit? Oh, I've misread this. Where the hell's it? Oh, in dialogue, story, and quest design. Like, that's what I want to hear as a gamer. I don't want to hear whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but the Sony one
said.
wasn't advertised as a gaming thing. It was just Sony have acquired, not Sony PlayStation. Sony has acquired. So because it could be used throughout the whole thing. I think they both could be quite interesting things, but we don't know how they'll be used and all that kind of stuff. So
no idea.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that someone's already started using, I think, ChatGPT in a Skyrim mod.
Right.
I love that the first place it went was a Skyrim mod. Anyway, there is one
There'll
other...
be a new Skyrim release with it, Pete. Just get ready.
Give it
new
a year,
Switch.
it will be. Yeah, give it a year and Bethesda will just take
£45.
it on.
Oh yeah, £60. Our first £70 game on Switch was Skyrim, published by Nintendo.
Of course. Worth every penny.
Bit of knowledge for you.
Yes. And in one final piece of quick news, did you guys notice that World of Warcraft Hardcore briefly went into like the top 5 Twitch streamed games
I didn't notice,
last week?
but you did tell me at the time.
Yeah, I did because there was a player versus player tournament hosted on the Hardcore servers where if you die, it's over. You can't resurrect, you have to start again. There was a 64-man player versus player tournament, and I ended up actually watching some of it because it was really bloody good.
Was it commentated
Very
on? Was there?
entertaining. Yeah, there were 2 sort of significant WoW streamers commentating it, and the prize pot was 50 grand. I think.
Oh,
Yeah, with another like 6,200 for everyone who was the best in their class.
Okay.
So it was pretty like £100,000 up for grabs across the board, or dollars, and it was actually really entertaining. You saw the level of prep people put into it.
I guess it's just similar news actually. I saw a lot on stream this week and last week. The first open beta, all the streamers were invited to play it. The Tarkov arena mode. Do you remember we had a news story about this about 3 months ago?
Tell us about that. What was that like?
Yeah, it looked fucking good fun. And to be fair, all the streamers were saying it was amazing fun. it is a completely different game to Tarkov. It's literally just like 5-on-5 in this big area, and you just go around killing people. So it's very much Call of Duty, but just Tarkov, slowness and stuff. So I'll be honest, I don't think it's going to catch on, because there is something quite addictive of the modern warfare, running around, sliding, and the thwack of the guns and everything. So I don't think it's going to overtake fucking Call of Duty, but it's good fun. It's a good alternative.
Included in the price of the original game, do you know?
Oh, you are testing my knowledge here. If I remember correctly, in that news story, it said that if you purchased the full game on a certain upload, you got it, or something. I can't remember. It was like if you bought it at a certain time, you got it.
Right. Okay.
I think I would have got it, because I did think I got it quite early on, and it fucking cost me an arm and a leg. I think it cost me 50 quid. So.
All right, and it's like, when this does come out, you will get it. Yeah. And it's coming out soon, I assume.
I assume so. The fact that it's that, yeah, they haven't said, but yeah.
Cool. Well, that is the quick news for the week.
Lovely job. Let me take us on to the main news with my story then. I shouldn't have said so.
You were so upbeat actually.
There. I was so upbeat. Yeah. Right, let's bring it down. Bungie layoffs. More layoffs in the gaming industry once again. This time it's hit Bungie. 100 employees of Bungie were laid off last week. It's approximately 8% of its 1,200 workforce. This occurred just weeks after management warned staff that revenue for the year was running significantly below expectations, so they probably saw it coming to some extent. They were precisely 45% below projections, though, so that's quite a bit. The slump is said to be the result of a sharp drop in the popularity of Destiny 2, with weak player retention as well. Bloomberg reports that the layoffs are part of a larger money-saving initiative at PlayStation, which has also resulted in job cuts at Media Molecule, Naughty Dog, and other areas of the business as well. The bit that's been causing most of the news, even though obviously that's very tragic news, Bungie CEO Pete Parsons said in a tweet on the day of the losses, today is a sad day at Bungie as we say goodbye to colleagues who have all made a significant impact on our studio. What these exceptional individuals have contributed to our games and Bungie culture has been enormous and will continue to be part of the Bungie long into the future. Since that tweet, obviously Parsons' tweet has been highly criticised, being called out as tone deaf. A good response to this was Alex Frostwolf, that's Respawn's global social media lead on Apex Legends, who wrote, your senior social lead probably would have recommended against this post, which you would have known if you did not let them go. Pity.
Very good.
Good tongue-in-cheek.
Yes.
So sad news. Also, it probably wasn't nice for those people that were laid off as well to see a tweet that was so not a bit insensitive.
Yeah, it seems like the whole process that went into those layoffs was another one of people didn't know about it 15 minutes before they were let go. They had a meeting put into their calendar.
Yes, that said was it private meeting or something?
It's such a weird one because PlayStation bought Bungie. They obviously are not performing how Sony or PlayStation wanted them to. They are probably not the live service experts we've all built them up to be. And they probably are not delivering on the value that Sony thought they could bring. That's the reality of the situation. And the 1,200 workforce. I did the maths on an estimated kind of wage across the board. Their payroll was probably about 3.5 to 4 million a week. A month. Okay, that is. Yeah, there's not. I'm playing too much Football Manager. Too much Football Manager. Sorry. A month. That is big. Yeah, I mean, when you've got one game, because okay, what did Bungie do? They do one game, and Marathon, their big one coming out, that's been pushed out to 2025, I think. And I think the last expansion of Destiny did particularly poorly. and they mentioned about this. Destiny just seems too big now that new players can't even begin to get involved. If we wanted to play Destiny now, we were okay. Destiny's the thing. Like, what do you even fucking do? And I did hear this somewhere else this week as well, on some other show. They're talking about The Last of Us multiplayer and the fact that it got handed over to Bungie to like evaluate it for live service stuff. And I'd love to really know the true story, but imagine that, like Naughty Dog being told, "Oh yeah, your game's shit." If you're Naughty Dog now, you go like, can we forget what those fucking jokers said and instead
you fired half the team who looked at this. Can we not take their advice?
Do we really think they know about live service? I mean, or did they stumble across a unicorn? Let's just I don't know, but yeah, it's not good. Not good for Bungie, and it's not a good look for Sony either this week.
Yes. Well, in almost as tragic news, I can follow with the sadness that is Fortnite breaking its own record.
Smashed it.
Absolutely smashed it. You're all as disappointed as I am, I know. Yeah, Fortnite last weekend broke 6 million concurrent players.
Yeah,
on Saturday the 4th.
That's a monster.
6.1 million.
Fucking monster, Pete.
It's absurd, yeah. I mean, this is tracked by Fortnite.gg, which is, their own game. Or their own thing. But the return of their original map, dubbed the OG by Epic, has seen a massive influx of players, with that Battle Royale mode actually breaking records when it hit a new high of 3.1 million people simultaneously on that day. That is a lot of people playing Battle Royale. Yeah.
Disappointing.
It does also mean Epic has had to keep a very close eye on server health and capacity, and warned players they might experience a short queue before logging in at peak times. The statement they said was, "We're continuing to monitor our server health and capacity following the launch of Fortnite OG season, and players may find they experience a short queue. We appreciate your patience during this exciting time and look forward to you jumping in game." I mean, if there's 6 million people playing, there's going to be a queue, surely.
Yeah, fuck.
They ain't keeping that up all the time.
That's amazing that they kept it going, though. I heard that a third of all people playing on Xbox and PlayStation this weekend were playing Fortnite.
My God.
That is mental, isn't it?
And also, I've put these at the bottom of our notes here, 102 million hours of Fortnite were played on the 3rd of November, and it's the biggest day in the game's history.
102 million. Wait. So all these... How many hours did these 6 million people play?
Fucking 12.
Yeah, did they all play the entire God? Oh my God.
Honestly, my nephew plays it like relentlessly. It was his birthday the other day, and we had his like cake and everything, and then he's just like, "Can I go and play Fortnite with my mates?" Yeah, of course you can. It's your birthday. Do what you want.
Out of it yet. Okay, fair.
But they just fucking... Fortnite is as big as that. And it's almost a masterstroke to have gone away. Like, we say this about Verdansk, Eddie, don't we, on Call of Duty Warzone?
Yeah, if they do it.
If they brought back a Verdansk... We said it, that they have a license to print money and get everyone back. If they just go, Verdansk is coming at some point in the future, everyone would jump back.
Oh, we're going to be all over it.
Yeah, crazy.
Do you know what makes me think about this news story was, with all these games that come out, and you see so many and you go, this is terrible. Why the hell would they bring it out? And I think Fortnite is the reason, because I remember the first time I played Fortnite and I went, this is terrible. This is a terrible, terrible mess. There is nothing good about this. There's nothing more innovative. Let me uninstall this and go back to PUBG. Yes. And on top of all of that nonsense, they make more nonsense. But it's the biggest success story of the 21st century.
Yep.
It's making insane money. I mean, even like that. Remember when they raised funds in a weekend for Ukraine? It was like $50 million or something. It was It was mental. All these figures we see connected with Fortnite is insane, and it's the most garbage fucking game I've ever played.
It's allowed the gaming landscape to change because Epic obviously own Unreal, and the investment that they've been able to put into their game store, into Unreal Engine, into all this stuff, has been funded through Fortnite, hasn't it? And don't forget, Fortnite was just a garbage kind of single player game, and they saw the success of PUBG. And then they made a cartoony kind of PUBG on it, and it appealed to more people. And you say it's garbage, the actual shooting mechanics and everything, as Punk said the other week, like Unreal Tournament type stuff. It is.
It's horrendous. The way the numbers come up, and it's the jumping and the bright colours. It is.
But that's the like icing that's too much on the cake, if you know what I mean. Like that, it makes the cake sickly for people like us. But the actual essence of the game has to be excellent to hold this like player base and be that's pretty objective. It's just I don't know.
Popularity does not indicate quality.
Yeah, over time it does. Over years it does. You know, it's got to be decent enough.
No, because kids don't go like. How about this, boys? Let's not play this anymore. No kid's ever going to say that in their social group. They're always going to go, let's carry on playing Fortnite.
Well, have you ever played Eddie?
Yes.
You didn't like the shooting mechanics?
I think everything about it was horrific.
Oh, I think it was all right. Yeah. I wouldn't like to. I don't really want to play it. Like I'd rather play Warzone. But
we even installed it to play it the other week up at Kirk's. Even when we were smashed, we still didn't play it.
Kirk wouldn't have it on his fucking Xbox or something like that. We were up for it, but yeah, Kirk was being weird.
I was up for it. I did want to jump in.
Kirk was being weird. Yeah.
Classic
What
Kirk.
is this? Because Pete, Kirk wouldn't let us watch the fucking rugby because he hasn't got a TV license.
Yeah.
He thinks the government's
And I was
going
like,
to come round.
I said, I'll watch it on my. I'll log on my account, Kirk. I've got a TV license, and he was like, no, because it's on my device, and
it's under my roof,
and they'll know. What?
You're in a flat block as well.
What are you talking about, fella?
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Anyway, this is sidetrack.
Just a bit. Yes. Interesting insight into our lives.
It's a semi-final.
Come on, man. If even Ben is willing to watch rugby,
even I'm willing to watch rugby. At that point,
you weren't. You kept on trying to put Man United on. So.
Yeah. I mean, that was clearly the game that we should have been watching, but nobody was interested.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's move on to my news story then. So this one is a bit more of a discussion, I think. I mean, there's been a lot of chat this week about advertising in games because we've had two examples. Firstly, Spider-Man 2. There is a bit nearer the end where Miles Morales gets a new suit, and you're forced to wear it for a mission or two. I actually quite liked it, so I kept it on. But it's clear in the little cutscene when he's perching on the ledge that he's wearing Adidas trainers. And I thought I noticed it clearly at the time. I thought, yeah, okay, lovely trainers, Adidas. And I immediately thought, could I buy them? And then I moved on. Obviously,
you are just a corporate shell.
I am, and I absolutely love it. And I absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
So there was that instance, and everyone likes to complain. I kind of think that helps probably fund the game, so I don't really mind, and it doesn't impact on my life. And if I want to buy something as a result, then I want to buy something as a result. And if I do, and I'm weak, and I do it when I wouldn't normally, then so be it. You know, I'm a grown-ass man. And secondly, there was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Did you notice, have either of you turned on your Xbox this week, and when you turned it on, it went to a screen, and it was a red screen with the Call of Duty kind of picture, and it came up with a message saying, buy Call of Duty, click here.
I haven't noticed
that.
No, I did notice because I was told about it, and then it happened, but I'm sure all of us would kind of just click off it and wouldn't even register it.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because, you know, when you log on to Warzone, you get that big screen, you just press B,
click,
straight away,
click.
You just go, whatever.
We're kind of conditioned, Eddie, to just click through it.
I'm very much with that. In fact, I even did it today when logging on to Eurogamer and I clicked something and I went, oh no, what have I just clicked? Yeah, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
So
but,
I might have seen
but
it. Yeah.
a lot of people have kicked off saying, oh, it's almost sickly that you're greeted when you just turn on your Xbox that happens in Modern Warfare, gets put out there. You know, these are companies just trying to get you to buy stuff. That's no different in any other thing. But it's now seeping into games a little bit more. And another example that I had, and this has been for years, so don't get me wrong, Football Manager, when you start Football Manager, it does ask you whether you want the billboards to be targeted advertising.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, of course, because I want to see Callaway golf clubs and male pattern baldness cures.
Yeah, very specific. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm all in for that. I fucking love targeted advertising. I'm all about it, obviously. But yeah, it's seeping. It is in games, and it's probably here to stay. But do you guys think it's a problem? Those types of things.
I think it's completely inevitable. Is the issue really? Whether I like it or not, I think it's gonna be there. Like, it's an unstoppable force. Advertising will get its way into every part of your life. It'll be
so don't hate it because
point.
it's just a thing.
I despise it on every level, but I accept that it's a thing.
Accept it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I despise it on every level, but I think that when you pay for a product, so like YouTube do what's it called? Advertisement free. Ben, you have it.
I do YouTube Premium.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So with that, and same with Spotify. So I pay for Spotify.
Yeah.
Now, I like that business model because it's saying if you want it for free, then you have to watch all these adverts. If you don't like the adverts, you do have to pay for the product itself. So I like that business model. I'm a bit pissed off because YouTube, I watch loads of videos on YouTube and I'm like, oh, should I pay? Should I not pay? So that
it'll change your life.
Me a bit. Yeah. But I don't want to pay for a product and then have advertisement. Right? Look, what you were saying about Spider-Man, Ben, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with it if it's like
product placement. Yeah.
Product placement. I do not mind product placement. I do mind. I would be upset if the advertising hindered my gaming experience.
Do you think the Call of Duty one hinders your gaming experience? Because for me, it's like, I just click and I'm off it and I get on with my game. I'd
say that one is more invasive.
But it's pre-game,
it's
though, isn't it?
It's
pre-game.
It's more invasive, but it's fine. It's like one click. It would be annoying if like a cutscene, every cutscene I'd have like a big advert.
Yes,
that would piss me off.
See what
or
you're
a loading
saying.
screen.
I can just see a future game. You know those games where the evil character has a big soliloquy before your boss fight?
Yes.
It'll be there like, oh, watch this 5-second ad to skip.
Well, they do that on mobile games, don't they, Pete? Pete, they do it on mobile games, exactly that. And they on mobile games, they'll do like, you have to watch the adverts to get the currency and shit like that.
Yes.
But so what you're saying...
Or double currency, that's
I think what you're saying is you don't mind it when it's literally outside of the game or it's product placement and it doesn't hinder, you can just ignore.
As long as it doesn't hinder, because I'm paying for a product, I do not want, I do not want to be hindered. I don't want my experience to be hindered. If it's not, and it's like all over the place, like people are wearing the outfits or they're drinking the things, that's fine. I don't mind that at all. Like in like RPGs, if they drink a Budweiser, I won't give a shit.
Oh, Death Stranding and Monster Energy drink, that was great.
Oh, well, there you go. Not once did I have a problem with that. Yeah. That's fine. I mean, wasn't there a couple scenes where it like zoomed into the fucking?
No, they did
monster?
It was like what do they call it when it's very self-aware of its own thing? Like holding it to the camera. Drink this.
Yeah,
it's full breaking kind of thing.
But if it gets in the way, as I said, I like. This is crazy how my mind works. That one click away from the war zone, I wouldn't have a problem with. If I had 2 or 3, I'd be like, this is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, it gets invasive.
I suppose this is the other bit as well. If it ever gets to a point where they do that before a loading screen, because I don't know about you guys, but I'll wander off half the time if I'm loading something. Like,
yeah, same. I'll pick up my phone.
And if you suddenly came back and realised it hasn't fucking loaded because an advert's popped.
Oh, furious.
Furious. Game over.
The thing is as well, I say this, I would probably be one of those people who would it might affect what games I bought. Like, if there's a load of advertising in something, it will very much stop me buying that.
You are a man who, if you have a particular bugbear, however small it is,
Yeah.
And however small the impact is on your life.
What game was it?
You've decided.
You loved the game, but then like the cities were too big in comparison to the world, and you were like,
Civ in general is over to me. Yeah, they're just too big. Humankind was the latest example of that.
oh yeah, Humankind.
Because you were literally a continent-spanning megalopolis. Like, who needs that? Fuck off. It's just absurd. A barrack shouldn't take up 1,000 square miles, which is essentially what it's equating to, or more than that, 10,000 square miles even. Yeah, and I am one of those people who I would just be like, well, I'll just play RimWorld or Stellaris instead. Why the fuck do I care about your new game? Especially if you're going to try and bring targeted ads into it, because I have none of them.
There we go.
None of your shitty products.
Good, and that's the news.
Yeah, it is. That brings us to new releases. Let's see what good stuff is targeting us this week.
Nice, very good, very well played. To be fair, it was a big news releases section, but I think we've culled 3, so it's now looking actually quite manageable. Don't worry, listeners, I only cull ones that are truly horrendous, as in no one will play them. So don't worry. The ones we culled are.
To be fair, I did cull one before that as well, Eddie, which was Farming Simulator 22. Because it was just the new version.
What are you doing?
It's not a new release. It's not a new release. It
sounds like a new release to me.
Is it being released this week?
No, it was their Game of the Year version.
Pretty fucking new release.
No, it's not. Anyway, crack on.
One that I called was the day before because it's not coming out after all. It's coming out. It's been moved to December the 7th, I think.
And of course, it's coming out
from the 10th of November.
Of course, it is.
So.
What? The day before?
The day before, the zombie one. But it's...
yes, I saw the trailer the other day. Holy shit, was it set to come out?
It was set to come out this week. However, on Steam, it's still called The Day Before.
It is.
So has it been reinstated on Steam as the old name? Like, have they... I don't know what's going on with that fucking game.
I don't think it ever changed on Steam.
I think it got taken off Steam, didn't it? Yeah, it got taken off Steam.
It may have been taken down. Yeah,
now it's back. And I also thought, it was like the top wishlisted game on Steam at one point. When it got taken off Steam and then when it gets re-added, do all those wish lists come back?
I never wished.
Because that would be fucking crippling to that game.
They must, they must find a way. They must, yes. Steam, Valve would do it.
They would do it for a big game, surely.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure it's got the same coding anyway. Like it's the exact same page. It's just either on show or not on show.
It's going to earn Valve a lot of money, so they should make it.
It's not though, because it's not going to come out.
Very good point. Very good point. Well, we'll see in December. We will see in December. I mean, it's 200
said that
IQ
about
because
November 4 months ago.
It's 200 IQ that they're avoiding any Game of the Year discussions or releasing in December.
Pushed it to that point because they know what's happening. Yes.
Hey, that latest trailer that I saw last week, it looks good.
Okay.
The original trailer looked quite good.
The original gameplay slice looked. Whew.
You know what? That's 2 games in 1 week where I've gone from this is a farce. This is not coming out to I'm going to get both these games. What was the other game that I saw last week?
Wasn't it the one that sounded like Manor?
Yes, it was. Is it something Lords?
Manor Lords.
It was Manor Lords.
Manor Lords. Yeah. Thank you, Ben. That's 2 games I'm going to get on day 1 that could well be fraud. Oh well. Right, let's get on with these games. Beyond Sunset coming out on PC November 8th. Cyberpunk first-person shooter with a rich story and RPG elements. You are Lucy, an enhanced street samurai searching for lost memories. Fight in large, open, interactive levels overtaken by Yakuza, zombies, robots, and bosses. What a blurb. This game is fucking awful.
Yes.
It's horrific.
There we go.
It's got the best blurb I've ever read. When I read that, I went, whoa, I don't need to play Cyberpunk anymore. I'm going to get this game. No, this is Doom, basically. Like the original Doom. Like the visuals are awful. That old school Doom look.
Eddie, you say about fantastic blurbs. when you were away, did you hear about was it Ice Road Trucker or something game?
Oh yes, that was a
Where
good.
the title of it starts and then it's like investigating the death of your murdered father. And you're like, Alaskan Truck Simulator, that was it, something like that.
Yeah.
And it literally immediately kicks into like, after the tragic death of your father, you must find out about it. That was a tone change.
Oh dear. Yeah, well this game is not as good as Arctic, whatever the fuck that is.
I want to provide some balance to the force here and say that we do see a lot of these Doom-looking games come out. I think this looked all right. I actually quite like the look of it.
Whoa. Wow.
You're wrong, clearly.
No.
You are wrong.
I thought
I
thought it looked quite nice. There's a demo out, so you can
experience it in all its glory.
There's so many things. So to list more things that's wrong with it, it's like the music is unbelievably bad.
Oh yeah, I watched it on silent.
Oh, do not turn that music on. Like, the gunplay is surprisingly bad. As in, like, you know, when most games you surely just copy and paste the sound over. No, this is awful. Like, you can't. It's just you're wrong. You're wrong. It's
if
terrible.
you're looking for a Doom type game, old school Doom.
Game. Yeah, absolutely, brilliant game.
Well, there you go.
Buy this.
There you go for an old school Doom fan.
Yeah, definitely get this.
Okay. Wow. Right.
Shows what I thought about the original Doom, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, but yeah.
Right, let's move on to an absolute belter. I think we'll all agree on that. Cuisiner. Cuisinier?
Cuisinier, I'd guess.
Cuisinier, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a portmanteau.
Cuisinier.
Yeah.
Cuisinier. Yeah, let's call it that. Coming out on PC November 9th. A super cute, love it when they start blah blah like that. A super cute and tasty roguelite flavoured dungeon crawler. Explore a lush world and defeat monsters with your trusty spatula and some boba tea. Is it boba tea?
I have no idea, to be honest. It's really popular and I still don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You can tell I've never been in a kitchen. Then gather delicious ingredients and bring them home to cook and serve at your restaurant. This is it's an action roguelite where you also run a restaurant. So some would say it's identical to Dave the Diver. So if you're thinking, I'll get Dave the Diver, don't get that, because this is like a super cute version. The look and everything is obviously tailored to children. It's like all cutesy and nice, all Facebook mums. But here's what really pisses me off. I'm doing all my research, and all of a sudden, this huge, big-thighed, big-breasted woman just comes onto the screen, starts talking to me.
Yeah.
What's that about?
What, like an advert for Pornhub?
It's no, it's in the game, Ben.
Chris.
What's happened there?
That's the next stage of targeted advertising. In games.
But it's like a drawn character. So whoever's like making this game, and they've gone like, right, you need characters when you talk to them. It pops up there, the figure in the screen, which is good. I like that in gaming because then you go, oh, that person looks like this. But this person is like thighs like as wide as anything, with all her like leg revealed, and her breasts are massive, and they're hanging out. It's a kid's game. Why is this on it?
It's not, Eddie. Clearly it's not.
What, you think this is an adults-only game, do you?
Yeah, I mean, one of the other characters looked like a fairy anyway, so I assume so.
Anyway, the gameplay looks actually okay. I love the little restaurant kind of thing to it as well. I'm actually not that mad at it.
Yeah.
There is literally no scenario I would ever even look at this game.
Probably just play Dave the Diver.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is, well, that's the way I look at it. It's Dave the Diver, quite a normal person's game. This is like almost a kid's version of it. Why not copy the success of another game?
Except with furries and overly sexualized side
Stop
characters.
saying furries, Pete, because you had to make something sexual. You're such a pervert.
You literally spent 10 minutes fixating on the size of her thigh, but all right.
Fixating. You had to use that word,
I imagine
didn't
you were sweating at the time as well, but that might just be how I remember you. Okay, can we move on from
I'm
Cuisinier?
24 stone, mate. I'm always sweating. Right, let's move on to Demio battles.
Sure.
Demio?
Sure.
Yeah, cool. Coming out on PC November 9th. Demio Battles is a competitive PvP turn-based strategy game. Choose your champion, assemble an army of monstrous minions, and team up with fellow champions in your quest for turn-based glory. It's a pick-up-and-play tabletop game. It's full crossplay, right? Supported between what they call is flat-screen PC play, which I never heard it called that before, and compatible
like an Apple Mac.
VR headsets. No, that's like normal PC. But then VR headsets, and you can actually play with like your hands and like pick up the people and move them and shit. It looks pretty cool actually. Yeah. I'm not mad at it. Yeah. So you can assemble your armies of like 37 different creatures, and you have to use your money wisely to choose the right people and whatnot. You choose your heroes as well, and there are 89 possible like different strategy cards as well to choose as well. It doesn't look too bad. The visuals look okay as well, and there's a free demo on Steam if you want to give it a try. I'm not mad at this at all. I mean, it probably helped me a lot that it said this game is very similar to Blood Bowl. So
there we are. I was waiting for that.
There it is. Okay. There it is. Okay. That made me sweat.
I'll bet it did.
I thought this game looked quite good, but I've got no frame of reference as to whether it's good or not. So, yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I do like the fact that in the games it's similar to, it includes Lords of the Fallen, Ben. That might be a stretch. That might be a bit of a stretch, guys. But there we go. Yeah, I mean, I can see why you're not mad at it. This looks like, for the type of person who likes this game, this looks good.
Yes. And this is kind of sort of my type of game, so I'm not mad.
Isn't there a series of games called Demio?
Yes, I thought that.
Yeah, there is, isn't there?
Well, there's the game Demio, which is made by the same people.
Okay, so it's linked to that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, Demio is a game. Yeah. 9 out of 10 on Steam.
Well, fair enough. So it's got
and on the Meta store, so it's presumably it's VR.
Right. Yeah, so it's definitely got some background behind it as well. Nice.
There you go. I mean, the developers only did that and a few other games, but it's fine. Yeah, they know what they're doing. Next one, Like a Dragon Gaiden. Like a Dragon Gaiden? Is it Gaiden?
Gaiden.
Gaiden?
Gaiden.
Who knows? Gaiden.
Yeah, Gaiden, like
it's
Ninja Gaiden.
Like Ninja Gaiden, yeah. Exactly that.
Oh, okay. Like a Dragon Gaiden.
Well, Like a Dragon is the Yakuza games, isn't it?
Yes.
Like a Dragon Gaiden.
Gaiden.
Finish the title.
Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name.
Thank you.
Coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, November 9th. Erase your past to protect your future! I'm really annoyed because my girlfriend walked in a couple of minutes ago as well, so now she's going to be pissed off that I'm screaming nonsense again. Fuck my life. Once a legendary Yakuza, Kazuma Kiryu faked his own death and abandoned his name. I'd abandon my name if my name was fucking Yakuza v. Kiryu. For the sake of...
Jesus Christ.
For the sake of protecting
one of the most famous
his family.
characters in...
Kazuma Kiryu.
Okay.
Is that better?
Kiryu.
Kiryu.
Oh, God.
Finish the blurb.
It's
Just move it
awkward
on, man.
to say. It's awkward to say. Now, he is thrust into conflict by a mysterious figure attempting to drive him out of hiding. There you go. Love it. It's published by Sega. Didn't know that. There you go. It's an action beat 'em up. And notice I said beat 'em up there as well. The visuals are good. The action looks pretty fun. You've got two different styles, like one mega hitty and one like stealthy fighty styles. And you can use an array of like high-tech gadgets and stuff. The bit that I especially liked was when he picked up a sign the size of a fucking building and started hitting people.
Respect.
Yeah, IGN have already reviewed it and gave it a 7 out of 10. Unfortunately for me, it's a £45 price tag on it. So
I like how you both read the blurb and then started by saying, published by Sega, it's an action beat 'em up. This is one of the most legendary game series out there on consoles.
Never heard of it, mate.
Yakuza. You know Yakuza.
Oh, is it a Yakuza game?
Yes, they changed the name to Like a Dragon.
Right.
What? Why?
Because they wanted to rebrand, I guess.
Yeah, to get away from being tied to an actual criminal syndicate, I imagine.
Yeah.
Hang on, you can see my confusion because the visuals aren't the same as the Yakuza games. Like
They are.
no, they're similar, but they're not like they're different come on, where is it? Yakuza. I'm trying not to type today.
That's okay. You're not into the franchise, nor am I actually. So yeah, for those who don't know, this is just the Yakuza games rebranded. This is the next in the next series, and they've also got one coming out in January. But that's the kind of like tongue-in-cheek one that we saw at that Xbox event.
Yeah. It's a rich time to
this
be a fan
one is
of Like a Dragon.
Yeah, this one is less tongue-in-cheek. I think it's more the story type thing. I don't know enough about the Yakuza series to really give it a go. I've only played one or two for a little bit. They are long games and you have to get involved. So I think Punk is really up for this game.
Nice, good for him.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Yakuza fans are going to be very happy with it. I know IGN are giving it a 7 out of 10, but they're not 10 out of 10 games in general. It's just if you love the series, then you'll love the games.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 is perfectly fine if it's an established quantity.
Yeah, and if you like the series, you know you're going to have a good time with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. I do think they've gone a completely different avenue as well. Like I'm literally looking.
Maybe they have, Eddie. I mean, I don't know enough about the series. I thought this was like on a similar vein to the older Yakuza's, like Kiwami. Is it called Kiwami and 2
Kiwami.
and 3, 4? You know, those types of ones.
Right, okay.
I thought this was a similar type, and I thought this was just like the next in the kind of like official line. And I thought the one coming out in January is a bit more of a spin-off type one. That's why it looks a bit more kind of like Crazy Taxi. I don't know, like that's just my interpretation, but I'm sure people will be screaming at their fucking phones or whatever right now saying you don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about.
Quite possibly, yes.
Yeah, probably.
And
so.
To them, I completely agree.
I salute them.
Yeah. I am on their side. Next one, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, coming out on PC, Xboxes, PlayStations, November 10th. Don't know why I did that in reverse order. That's interesting. In the direct sequel to the record-breaking Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Captain Price and Task Force 141 face off against the ultimate threat in a 4-hour campaign. It doesn't have that last bit. I just thought I'd add that.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about this any further, Ben?
I'm getting it. Yeah, I look forward to it. I'll let you know what the zombie mode is like.
All we can say as well is at least they're time efficient in taking down the ultimate threat. Like,
there you go.
4
They
hours
are
from
very-
planning to
yeah.
execution of taking out your ultimate threat. That's good work, boys.
Yeah, because you could argue if it's too long, if it's like 14 hours, you're like, well, why is it taking you so long?
You're clearly not very good at your jobs if
What
it
I
takes
find-
you more than 4 hours.
There you go.
They lock up a lot of the achievements in the campaign, I think, and because the ones that you get in like multiplayer or in multiplayer and in Warzone or whatever, they're like so ridiculous, like kill 4 people whilst in midair jumping out of a helicopter type thing.
Yeah.
I think I've played 350 odd hours of Warzone. I think me and you, Eddie, we both have 0 achievements in Call of Duty, the last Call of Duty, and we have both played several hundred hours of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember looking at one of them and it was like, use this weapon through a smoke grenade.
Yes,
and
that's it, yeah.
making sure you're in car.
It's just, no.
Nonsense. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to Spirity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spirity.
Yeah.
Spirity. We're going with that. Hey, human, it's coming out on PC, Xboxes, and Switch. There you go, November 13th. Almost missed it. Hey, human, we've got problems. This town is crawling with troublesome spirits, and you're the only one who can see them. You'd better get that old bathhouse up and running. Maybe that'll help them chill out.
I thought bathhouses were notoriously warm. That's the thing, is it? Okay.
Also, the town is crawling with spirits and you're the only one who can see them. Doesn't sound like anyone else's problem.
Pete, I thought
You're
the
not
same
solving
thing.
anything,
I thought that
right?
sounded like a you problem, not a them problem.
Yeah, that's possibly maybe a go see a shrink
Yeah.
situation. Yeah. Okay.
Jesus, you've really looked into that one, haven't you? It's got like that old Pokemon style look / Stardew Valley
Uglier.
aesthetics.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty wank actually. Yeah.
That's really harsh. It sells itself as an RPG life sim, but I don't really know what it is. I guess it is, at the end of the day, it's Stardew Valley, but instead of having your farm, you have a bathhouse that you'd like manage and stuff. But the whole game is still like talking to the village people and going to parties and stuff. So, you know, I'm not going to shit on it because Stardew Valley is a fantastic game. So, I wish you'd stop being so hurtful to this game.
This looks terrible.
It does look awful.
It looks awful.
It does look bad.
Actually, thinking about it, I should have culled this. Can I cull it afterwards?
You can't, because I actually quite like this.
Ben,
You can't cull a game about a bathhouse management sim. I mean,
Ben,
the premise seems quite good.
Post.
The premise is quite good. Bathhouse management sim.
Yeah, but the execution is also important.
The game itself is fantastic.
The fact that they've had to add in troublesome spirits because they're like, well, we can't just be a bathhouse management sim. Gotta have ghosts.
Gotta have some ghosts in there. Oh, God.
Good.
All right, next one. I didn't mind that. It's such a shame you had to shit on that one. Next one, and kind of our last one. Gods of the Twilight, coming out on PC November 14th. How will you end the world? Play as Althea and Farkas as Old Norse magic returns to their world of tech, and they realise they're more than human. Encounter gods, monsters, governments, corporations, and criminals. Decide who to trust and prepare for Ragnarok. Bit of a drive-by on governments there, isn't it? Like, all evil things there, and then just governments just wedged right in there. I think that's pretty harsh.
Eddie takes that personally because you work for the government.
I work for the government.
I like the fact that you immediately put corporations in evil, though. I like that.
Well, of course, because corporations,
hasn't
you
worked
think,
for me.
of course. And criminals and monsters, and then governments.
Yeah.
I am the government.
The civil servant in Eddie is fuming right now.
That's not fair.
In a week's time, Eddie's just going to get absolutely nailed by Althea and Farkas.
Fair enough. So this is, unfortunately, it's got cartoony fuck me, it's so bad it's making me yawn. It's got cartoony JRPG looks. It's just a choice game where you just like choose. And I'm not going to lie, most of the options just seem to be about two, like yes or no, agree or disagree. But as you travel through the story, you do get like companions and stuff. It is fully voice acted. So it's got one up on Pokemon there. But yeah, not for me.
This is a visual novel game, right? This is the thing that I got from this. This is a visual novel game. It's coming out in early access. What the fuck? What the fuck?
They haven't finished all the visuals yet. Some of it's
novel?
just a page. Yeah, they haven't finished all the art yet. Some of it's just pages you read.
A load of shite.
What a load of shite. That's a bit harsh. It's their only game as well. I thought that was quite interesting.
It's their only game. Early access, visual novel.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Game similar to Divinity 2 Original Sin.
That's a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
That's a stretch. You wanted a stretch, there's a stretch.
Fantastic.
Oh my god, I've actually looked further. Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt is in there.
They stand side by side, Pete.
It's just like
Gods of
the
the
Witcher
Twilight,
3.
side by side with Witcher 3.
And Lies of P and The Walking Dead. Okay.
That is an eclectic mix of games. That is not side by side.
Oh wait, Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's not like any other Assassin's Creed games, but Odyssey.
The only way that those games are linked is that they're completely not linked.
Yeah.
Well, there's a link.
Yeah, eclectic.
There you go.
God.
Nailed it. Yeah, either of you think this game looks okay?
Yeah, I'm going to buy day one.
I thought you might, Ben. You might. The art style is quite nice, but I don't play visual novel games.
Wow. I can't believe you're buying this. This looks terrible.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
Yeah. That's why Ben's buying it. Right.
Love shit games, me.
Let's move on then. So Hogwarts Legacy is getting a Switch release on November
Talking about shit
14th.
games.
Ben, you fucking loved it when it came. Do you know what I've got, Ben? You know what I've got ready?
Go on.
So because I missed a couple of podcasts tonight over the past couple of months, I've fucked up my order of re-listening to all our podcasts. Yeah. So I'm on last week. I listened to one that was like 8 weeks ago, basically when Starfield came out. the stuff that you are saying on that episode,
I loved it.
I am clipping. So when in Game of the Year you go, it's shit, I'm not voting for it, I'm going to edit the clip in. So that you're like, best game ever, you could do everything.
So I have no fear. No, I have no fear whatsoever, because that is absolutely a level of effort that you are not willing to do.
Yeah.
That is fine by me, mate. Absolutely. Fill your boots with that theory in your head.
I did think when I was listening to it, I was like, how do I record things on my phone?
You have no mechanism to work it. Like, there is a clear mechanism to that. You have no way of doing it.
I was going to play it through my phone on speaker.
Oh my god, that is so tragic.
You're going to ruin his sound quality as well.
That's so tragic.
Yes, the one thing Ben tells dear is sound quality.
For him, yes. To be fair, we did work out, possibly on one of the podcasts you missed, Eddie, that basically any game, Ben has like distinct time windows where he'll hate it or like it.
Yes.
Yeah,
and it's just rolling the dice and when he stops.
Yes, it's correct.
That's
I think
all it is.
I am all aboard a hype train, and I really do love initial periods with games, and then I see the veil is lifted, and I see the game for what it is.
Yeah, but you may even go into a second round. Ben,
I do go in a second wave. Spider-Man.
Sometimes you do go like, actually,
Spider-Man.
This game's brilliant, and I gave
Spider-Man.
it
I came full circle on,
and then when another 20 hours ticks by, it's back to being absolute garbage.
Absolute garbage. Not for me. Never played it.
Exactly. Goes from a 9.5 to a 5 and then back again.
Yeah, that's what happened with Starfield. 60 hours in, not for me.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I don't think I did an Eddie and decided after 70 hours of gameplay whether the game was for me or not.
Could you put a silencer and a weapon?
Yeah, that was. I played 70 hours of this game. I don't think it's good. I took the piss out of you for the time, actually, at the time, saying that
you did.
You like, you play 70 hours. How can you say game shit?
Yeah.
Now I know.
Yes. Right. Speaking of, shall we crack on with? Oh no, Eddie, we need your game of the week. We need your game of the week.
I'm glad you said that because I've got one more game actually. It's Farming Simulator 22
Excellent.
Premium Edition
Thank
coming
you.
out on November 14th.
Thank you.
The premium amount of content game is 7 packs plus 2 expansions, all in one bundle.
Eddie, it sounds like a fucking new game to me.
It doesn't sound like
It
a
sounds
at all.
fantastic, and it's also got my pick of the week.
Ah, yes. Celebrate that.
You're disgusting. Now give us one from the list of these games.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't like doing this, you know that, but it's going to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
Disgust me even more.
Yeah, it's the best game on that list. It's probably one that I would actually enjoy playing the most out of that list, and unfortunately, because of those reasons, I'm going to have to.
Well, you'll be playing the free version, won't you? You'll be playing fucking Warzone 3 when it comes out. Yep.
Okay. Right. The reason I said that anyway is because I feel we should crack on with what we've been playing. Mostly because I'm really tempted to find out just how many hours Ben has put into like a dozen games.
Yeah, I've played fucking shit tons, Pete. I've played fucking shit tons.
And it's going to vary which ones you liked and didn't by how long you've played. So
right, we can get into it then. Right, so I platinum Spider-Man 2.
Ooh, is it your first one?
My first ever platinum, yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
I don't think I'll platinum anything else. And this one's an easy one. This one's an easy one to do.
That's why you did it. Yeah.
Yes, that is why I did it. That getting the platinum, it does make you feel oddly satisfied when you have that. But then I feel like that's a product of our culture that we need to be rewarded for everything. You don't need reward for playing a video game, so I don't need a trophy. And it's just it was a bit of a grind at the end. Like, you're just like, why am I doing this? Because I have to? Okay, right, fine.
Can I add to that? I think I've always said this, that I do not see the appeal, but I'm going to go one step further that I've just thought of is the thing that I want with a computer game, I want it to last forever. And I think platinum a game, no one, I challenge anyone to carry on playing a game after
I saw
platinuming
Donnie
a game.
playing it the other day.
Yeah. But Eddie, this is also why you don't
Discord,
play
it said he was
short
playing it.
story-focused games.
What, Pete?
This is why you don't play short story-focused games as well, though.
Yeah.
Because they do not last forever.
Yeah, I do understand that. I do understand rubber stamping a game and all that, but it was a good game. It was a really good game, and it didn't detract from it. Those last few hours of me, 5 hours or so of grinding out trophies at the end. There were a few combat trophies which I was just like, for fuck's sake, I didn't get them during the game because I'm a bit gung-ho. So anyway, it's done now, and now I can criticise getting platinums going forwards because I've got one.
Yes. Yeah.
Played another 15 hours of Football Manager, but nobody gives a fuck about that. I started a new hardcore run in Diablo 4. I'm level 30 odd as a rogue in the new season 2. A couple of close deaths because I wasn't paying attention, but yeah.
Oh, I thought you were done with that game.
I'm back. Like, Donnie was saying that season 2 is awesome. My girlfriend plays it every day, so I'm seeing it every single day. And I'm just playing it on Steam Deck, and it's just easy when I'm on the sofa just to stream it from the Xbox, play it on Steam Deck, and just grind out levels and stuff. I like it.
Yeah.
It is a good game. And this season, like, adding in the vampire stuff, and they've mixed up some of the normal kind of Helltide things that you do normally if you know about the game. If you don't, then it doesn't matter. But they've added in some extra features, and yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think they're doing stuff in these seasons that keeps it fresh. And it's nice to have taken a break and go back to it, and doing another hardcore run feels good, you know.
Understandable.
So that's that. Did another couple of bosses in Lords of the Fallen as well. 3 bosses in. There's only 30 bosses in the whole game, so at least I know from boss count I must be in the final third of the game. But I am finding it difficult to know where to fucking go. Like, after I do an area, it's like... So I finished an area, and again, just like in the last place, I was like, oh, where the fuck do I go now? And then I looked up online, and I've ended up... It was like a random door in a random place that I had a key to. So how would I fucking know that? Like, and it wasn't, and it was a key that I got a while ago. You could have gone to this area near the start of the game. So it's like, it feels a bit like playing Dark Souls 1, if I'm honest. Where Dark Souls 1, I kind of had to have a guide to say, go here next. Because I just didn't really know. So yeah, bit of that. That's a bit annoying, but it's still very good. Also played Dave the Diver a few hours into
it. Nice.
So it's a nice casual game that I'm playing around 9 o'clock each evening for an hour and a half or so, so I am enjoying that. It's very nice. The loop is excellent, but I'll need a bit more time before I can talk about it. We played some Warzone, didn't we? Nighttime Warzone, Eddie, with the Diablo 4 crossover, and it was fun as hell. Yeah. It's fucking great.
Yeah, it is great fun. Yeah, I actually prefer it nighttime.
So do I. Yeah, it was brilliant. You said it was great last week, and playing it the other night, it's fucking brilliant. I'm all in on the Warzone again. But the main thing I've been playing is Alan Wake 2. I'm 5.5 hours in. Need a bit more time in the oven to form a proper opinion, but it's atmospheric, it's very horror, it does some really interesting things about how to move the story on by the detective stuff. It's got like this storyboard thing that you play as 2 characters, the woman detective and then Alan Wake himself, and they both definitely have different ways of progressing the story, but it's really, really well done in kind of like a mind-bending kind of way. I think a lot of people have been interested in playing Control either again or for the first time having played this game, just because of that kind of like story mind-bending stuff. It seems very good, apart from this is one thing, because I'm not deep into the lore of Alan Wake. It seems like everybody's very accepting of the fact that supernatural shit is going on. Like, it's like
Ben Werthenby said exactly this. He said it's fucking ridiculous. Apparently, like there's this dead guy and he runs into the forest, and the main character's like, "Oh, sorry, honey, I'm not going to be home on time."
Yeah, Eddie,
what?
Eddie, I thought exactly the same thing. So there's this point at the start. This is not really spoiled. It's like the stuff goes on. People like vanish in thin air, and guy like some shit happens, and like a zombie type thing, and they're just like, yeah, that happened. What?
Tuesday. Yeah.
What?
This is my usual Tuesday.
And then just have like a call with her daughter, and it's like, oh, okay, right, yeah, oh, that thing happened, did it? Oh, you hit your head, okay, right, cool. What? What are you talking about? And And I'm at a bit now where it's like, I don't want to spoil the opening hours or anything. So, but you're just sat there just going like, no one would react like this. Now, I don't know whether it's all because it's a written book, like it's all like it's a meta version of itself, like it's, you know, it's a book on a book on a book kind of thing, and I think it is giving those vibes. So I don't know enough about the lore of Alan Wake, and I think that's what I'm missing out on. I think I didn't play the first one really beyond just turning it on and doing some stuff when it was free. So I think I'm missing a bit of the understanding of how that universe works.
Right.
But and there's also when, like, I like the detective stuff, but as a detective, you'll piece things together on like this storyboard, and it will kind of explain things together, and it makes you feel like, okay, right, I'm learning more stuff. And then she'll just have a massive premonition that just says, the thing I'm looking for is in that freezer over there. What? What? How the fuck did you? What? So you've got superpowers. Okay, so why are we fucking around with this storyboard? You've got fucking superpowers.
No wonder they're so chill about the supernatural stuff.
Exactly, because you are well in on the superpower stuff. You've got it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
but yeah, I think it looks fantastic. It's got a cracking
Yeah, I've
atmosphere.
seen that.
I am definitely enjoying it. I did tonight before we start recording. I played about an hour and a half more. I always have these things with games where you go like, if I were reviewing this at this point, I would be stuck. Because I had to backtrack.
You get stuck a lot.
I do, but
It does.
I just think like it's almost. I had to look up where to. I was like, well, how do I make this ritual thing happen? It was like, oh, track back, and then it showed a map, and then it showed like where you had to track back. And I was like, I didn't. Was there a voice cue that said I had to go back? There was something that I missed. Like there is no direction for me.
What there probably is like on the minimap there's like ritual site marked.
Yes,
and then just
yes.
ignores that
Exactly.
completely. Where would I go to do
it's
a
like, oh
ritual?
yeah,
Who could have seen
no,
that?
Pete, it clearly is, because that place is a ritual site, and like when you say it out loud, yes. But at the time, I was like, oh, but I've been progressing through this area, and I've come to the point where I know I've got the final thing I needed, and it's not forward. I actually have to go back, and not just go back. I have to go back loads. I don't know. It just. I'm just stupid, and stupidity means guides for me.
When Ben says he couldn't find it, it's about 3 seconds. Like, of him going,
No,
"Where the
I tell you
fuck
what,
could
Pete,
it be? I'm looking it up.
No, Pete, I tried to backtrack, even when I had the fucking guide that said, "I'll go back to the base." All right, I'll try and go back. I backtracked. I went full circle and ended up exactly where I was. It's like fuck. I was so annoyed. It's like, this is a linear fucking game.
Not anymore. It's not.
So linear.
I was enjoying you getting lost in a linear game.
Oh my god. I get lost in a straight line. I'm fucking
lost
wank,
on a straight road.
It's why you like your novel games,
Yeah,
Ben.
exactly.
You can't get lost in there.
Exactly. But regardless, this game is fun. I'm into it. It's good stuff.
Okay. Fantastic news.
Should we move on to my and your game then?
I was going to say we should. You should definitely take the lead. You've played more than me, so
Yeah. It's City Skylines 2, developer Colossal Order Limited. That's a bad name. But it's published by Paradox Interactive, of course.
They don't
Came
miss.
out last week. They do not miss.
They do for a bit, and then they recover it. But yeah,
They definitely miss. Yeah, I'm about 20 hours deep. Pete, you're like, was it like up to 10? Something like that?
somewhere near there.
Yeah, it's a city builder manager, for those of you who don't know, like the old Sim City, wasn't it? Do you remember them Sim Cities?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were good. Straight off the bat, I'm going to address the elephant in the room, and that's the controversy regarding the optimization. The developers did say a week before it coming out that it's not achieved the performance benchmark that we targeted. That is obvious right off the bat.
Yes, it is.
Like, I heard about it. Like, I think I've gotten really lucky here, Pete, because all I had the problem with was I loaded it up and it was all over the shop. It was fucking janky. Everything looked garbage. But to be fair, I adjusted some settings. I put it down to medium, and then I adjusted a few things that I knew would be a problem. And to be fair, mine's fine. However, okay. I understand. No, I completely... When you sent me a message, I completely understand. Because all these... Because I watch reviews before I play a game. I also watch like Let's Plays and stuff. And every single person has gone, this is a optimization nightmare. Like, it's a disgrace. I even looked into this further, and the developers have said, we will get a patch out after about a month that will fix everything. So okay. It will be a complete game then. Right. Now, a lot of the reviewers are quite rightly saying, why the fuck did you bring it out now then?
Yes.
Because this is a hot mess.
Yes. Do you want to know my favourite of the bugs so far for me?
Yeah, go on.
So, anytime I zoom out, it should be pointed out. Anytime I zoom out, it will freeze for multiple seconds.
Shit.
Like to full length. But one of them, it also then went with 100% cloud coverage. So I can't see anything anyway. And I was just stuck there for like 6-7 seconds before I could move it. Funny, and then wouldn't let me scroll back through the cloud for a good little while afterwards. And I was like, well, this is the worst possible scenario to build a city. This is literally like God designing the world and they're going, oh yeah, light afterwards. You know? It's that level of what the F are we doing here, guys? So, yeah, that was...
Wait, it's the true Bible experience. Do it in the dark.
It was literally one of those... Like, I'm trying to place a road as well on a map that is mostly water, and I'm trying to place a road and I can't see the map. That's problematic.
Oh, dear. Yeah, for me, I've got to admit, like... so in this game, it's quite nice that it's got day and night features. Holy shit. So it's got this thing at dusk or dawn where it's like... it's only a setting for like... in-game time 30 seconds, but it goes to dusk. Holy fuck, does my computer not like that? It goes, deny! Like, everything becomes, like, blocky, like, the police cars become big police cars driving through buildings. Yeah, it's not pretty there. It's not pretty. But yeah, I've really lucked out. Apart from that, and apart from... I think it's a game design where, like, the snow continues to the horizon. It's like on a mountain peak, even though there's not a mountain behind that, the snow will continue all the way to the end of the island, which is it's so immersion breaking, it's beyond belief. But hey, yeah, look, apart from that, let's get away from the fact that it's not a complete game. Yeah. Let's ignore that fact. I think the atmosphere is good. I think it's a good relaxing music, and it's quite nicely broken up by radio broadcasts that are about what's happening in your game. So, for example, really Yeah, exactly. It was really nice because you play all these games, so like your SimCities and The Sims, and you have that nice I call it elevator music, like just like calming music. But what's really cool is it's broken up by this radio broadcast, so you actually go, oh fuck, I might actually listen to a radio. But these radio broadcasts, as I said, it's about things happening in your life. So I had high crime, and then this broadcast came on, and they were saying about the high crime and stuff. I had a scenario where my house prices were too high, so they came on and said about all the house, and I'm like, that's so cool. That's quite cool. Yes. But
counterpoint to it though.
Yeah,
the fake Twitter is insanely annoying.
Oh, Pete, I completely agree. But do you think it's because we hate Twitter?
I mean, that is possible. I think it's I hate.
Do you think Kirk is playing this, going like, "Oh, this is amazing"? Well, look all the tweets.
Kirk couldn't build a small village, let alone a city. But the problem is, I think it's because like pop-up ads. It reminds me of that. So it's just kind of like every single time, it's like, get the fuck off the corner of my screen.
Yeah.
Like, get off.
Yeah, but, totally agree.
Yeah, and it's really good.
Do you know what I wish it was? Because it's insignificant stuff. But you know what would be quite cool if it was like, I don't know, the chief of the police or like whoever's the head of education. That would be quite cool. You know, like we need more funding or I don't know, something relating to it, because all the tweets are nonsense.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who would ever read them. Because I read a few and went, oh, these are all nonsense. Like
I did like one I got, Eddie, which was about how much they enjoyed the leisure time offered by the city. And I was just there, and I was like, that's because I haven't got any jobs for any of you yet. Of course, you're full leisure time. There's nothing to work in here.
I've got so much free time on my hands.
There's 6 people in a water treatment plant, but I've got 400 people and no jobs yet. So,
oh, that's it. No, I love the detail though, Pete. I think. All I did, because I haven't played City Skylines in God knows how long, like forever. And there is a good website. I'm not going to go into all the changes, but you can look up all the changes from the first and the second one. But what I've loved is the detail. Is like, I just went on, I went through one of my, I'm not leveling up in a while, so let's just click about. And I clicked on a house. Then I clicked on the person, and then I could zoom to his place of work. So I went to his place of work. I could see the finances. What else then did I do? Oh, and then I went at the route, and then I clicked on the bus route, and I could change the whole entire bus route, like of what ways it goes. I could change the colour of the fucking buses on a certain route. Like, I love doing these little follow things where you could follow them and stuff. And don't get me wrong, they don't go anywhere, but it's still like, I do love that level of detail. It does make it quite immersion filling.
Immersion juicing?
Immersion juicing. Immersion drenching. Juicing.
There's two bits. Wow, Jesus. Drenching is really bad as a choice. Okay, yeah. Anyway.
Oozing immersion juice. Secreting immersion juice.
Not secreting. Oh, that's gross. That's like me sweating earlier.
You're secreting immersion juices.
I'm secreting immersion juice right now.
Who's being immersed in anyway? Moving on. Right. To respond to the original 2 points, not any of the ones about juices or oozing or anything else.
Good.
The detail is insane, but there is one thing I noticed, Eddie, with it that really bothered me. Really bothered me, and it's in the detail, because things like the transportation network is insanely good. I love it.
Yeah.
But I did the same sort of thing as you. I clicked on a sim, I followed him as he went about his routine, and he got up, he went out his door, he drove to work, he went into the building, he immediately walked out and went back home.
Yeah, enough, Pete.
And it was like, it's 2 minutes past 9, and I was like, well, I suppose we all dream about doing that. But
kids pulled a sickie when he's in work. That's 200 IQ.
But this was a really common thing I was spotting. Was like, none of them actually did anything real. Like, I mean, obviously they're not going to, but they don't even stay there the full day. You'd have cars doing ridiculous things, including interesting U-turn again, and then carry on exactly the way they've been going. Just spinning on a dime. That was impressive. I love that.
Testing turning circles.
The goods you produce and stuff. No, there's plenty of roundabouts, Ben. My place is a nightmare for drugs. Possibly it's a mousetrap for any of them. But yes, any goods you produce, they don't really get transported anywhere. They don't really get bought or sold except in the finance screen.
Yeah.
And nothing happens. It's just the numbers ticking. And like a veneer.
I'm envisaging you wanting this to be Caesar 3, don't you?
100%,
that's what you want. You want to see the marble leaving the edge of the map and then seeing your finances
Caesar
go
3
up.
is like from the 1990s, Eddie. Like, surely we can achieve more now.
There's a reason why Caesar 3 is currently on my wish list. Because we have not yet achieved that in our gaming community.
Is that not cheap enough yet for you to buy?
It's £5, but it says full price, so I'm not going to buy that.
Eddie feels he can get an extra discount on it. This was the thing, but it was a bit of a, it sort of seeped away all the juices in the immersion, that none of it went anywhere.
Sucked it up.
Even the reverse sort of drained it away.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, like it was wasted immersion.
Wasted immersion juice, right?
Oh, okay. All right, what else good? I did like, there's a research tree, which is good. I mean, it just means you could go different routes on different playthroughs and stuff. That's quite fun. Yes. I did like I like this in games, though, so I don't know if it's done it well. Well, it has done it well. Is managing the finances.
Yeah.
Like, you can go into all those little tabs and you could change all the budgeting. You could change the tax rates. You can change how much each person pays for certain things. And what's quite nice about it, Pete, in my opinion, is it's not one of those games where you just fucking raise taxes and you see people being unhappy. Things are affected by it. Yes. Like, shops don't have people spending enough money in, so therefore they go broke. And then, or like the emergency service don't have a big enough coverage and things. I tried to be cheeky and did the electricity. Then none of my people in a certain area did have any fucking electricity. it's all done really smartly, I think.
Yeah, I think actually you've just given me a bit of an epiphany there on my view as well. I think my problem is the numbers behind it seem really well developed. And I really like how it looks on the surface level, but it doesn't feel like the numbers click through to the actual sims within it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think is the gap that's missing for me.
I think you're right, but I do think this isn't a sim management. It's more of a city management.
Yeah.
So I think they haven't paid any attention to the individual people. They've done it as you look at your charts, you look at your city as a whole, you know?
Yeah, and I do wonder if I'd even have noticed this if it wasn't so poorly optimised, by the way. Because I wouldn't have had so much time to fixate on these people if I hadn't constantly been freezing. So that 1/-10 frame rate might well have made me fixate on the wrong things.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, because when I automatically loaded with the neutral settings, wow, that was. I'm gonna end my opinions on a down note, and it's the overarching down note of it all, is that just like all these games, I am at the latter levels now where it's taking me a long time to level up. And I've spent most of my money, but don't get me wrong, I've made my city sustainable enough. Well, I've had about fucking 10 playthroughs, but and then just like all these games, like the Railway Empire that I reviewed recently, it's just a lot of waiting around.
Yeah,
it's just sitting there and just like, I'll zoom into this business. How's this doing? Yeah, it's doing fine. Right. Okay, I think I did a calculation ages ago. I was like, right, I'm getting £1,000 every minute. How long until my next level? And I was like, that's 25 minutes. So I can sit here for 25 minutes until my next level up, where I get a big chunk of money to buy on my next level up.
Perfect game design. Yes.
It just makes as soon as you realise that, as soon as you stop, because it's so funny, right? For those 19 hours that I've played this. I was like, this is great. I'm enjoying this. This is good fun. Yeah, la la. Don't get me wrong. At no point was I like finishing work and going like, yes, I get to play City Skylines. I it's just, I'll carry on playing it for the sake of the podcast. But that 20th hour was because that realization is just, this is over. This is not good anymore. It's just, but I do think people are wired differently, and I do think people that just like that. I'm going to log on for an hour and see what I can do. Maybe it's more fun. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll stick to what my final note I left on the document was here, which was like, I don't feel like this is finished, but it is Paradox. So give it 1 to 2 years and it'll be great. Like,
it's you say not finished in a completely different term. Even the developer said it's literally not a finished game, which is it's mind-boggling of why they even released it.
That's the thing. Why are we
Didn't they say something like, basically now's as good a time as any because it's not going to be done?
But this is one of the problems with Paradox games, is they add so much stuff after release. I think they've now reached the point where they just go, we might just release the code base one day and then just build on top of that.
Also, with Paradox, it might be a case that we got to get this game out because we've got to get some money back in because cash flow is a thing. People always talk about, everyone talks about delaying it. Oh, delay a game if it's not ready. Yeah, okay, you do that when you've got no money.
Yeah.
You do that when you've got no money and no cash flow. You've got to release that shit.
It's on Game Pass as well, so they probably had some sort of contract that said they had to be out or whatever.
And as soon as it's released, they'll get the payments in. They'll get a payment.
Yes, it won't
Paradox
be. Yeah, as money comes through. Yeah, probably.
Possibly. Yeah.
They cut that.
It's very hard to remember specific people.
Yes, but yeah, there's a lot that goes. The whole blanket statement that people say of like delay if game's not. Oh, fuck off. Different reasons to delay. I'm
going to end on a... Yes, you are. It's very fucking apparent. Yeah. I'm going to end on a high note, though. Next week's What We've Been Playing is going to be my second nomination and my front runner for our Game of the Year show. I have found I have found my game of the year. I've played it for 34 hours already this week. I am fully addicted and log in next week to find out.
What a cliffhanger.
There you go. There you
Love
go.
it. Love it.
Yes, great cliffhanger. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Or just tune in next time. Don't have to stay.
Yeah, don't just listen to empty air for a week, even though we don't actually have a radio station.
Go listen to our backlog.
Yes, yeah, the other episodes.
My God.
Go back to episode 1 and listen to the quality. Ben loves that quality.
Listen from the end backwards. Don't start from the start. That is a tough knock.
Always start from the start. Anyway, that is enough about what we've been playing. It is time for our feature. I am looking forward to finding out what it is next week, Eddie. But for now, we should talk about Blizzcon.
We should, because no one else is. But let's.
Because no one else fucking. Even though like 10 million people tune into it live.
This is funny. Last night, I said to Pete, I was like, we haven't really got features. So if you got any ideas, and he was like, "Oh, Blizzcon. I thought we did Blizzcon." Really? Is that?
Is that a thing? Do people do that?
Yeah, it happened. Okay. Oh, yeah, there are some. Yeah, okay. And
the bigger question: does anyone care?
And here we are.
But this is the thing. Like 10 million people tune into this live.
Pete cares.
Like, I actually. The funny bit is, I don't. I didn't watch it live. I watched summaries afterwards.
You're the reason we're doing this.
I don't even.
Event, though.
I don't even watch Game of the Year live. Like, come on.
Yeah,
I'd listen to ours as a summary afterwards if I could. Anyway, like...
Cliff Notes. You'd get that fucking book one. What's that called? Where you get the summaries.
Oh God, what is that called?
What is that called?
That's
Blinkist. Yes,
Blinkist. I do love Blinkist. It's great. It's especially for non-fiction.
But you have to pay like 70 quid up front. I don't like that. No monthly subscription.
And
anyway.
it's really it's a perfect gift if someone's annoying you with what to get you.
Yeah, we are.
Don't care about.
We are going off on a tangent, but yeah.
We are. But
I'm just letting you go to it. I've never even fucking heard of it.
I'm sorry, but every single non-fiction book benefits from being on Blinkist because who the fuck cares about your anecdotes?
I don't read books, so I like the Cliff Note version.
Are we sponsored by Blinkist or whatever the fuck?
No, this is more just a generalised attack on terrible non-fiction authors. Anyway,
what's happening?
What's happening?
Anyway,
I'm a different podcast.
You should be. Let's talk about Blizzcon.
Wow. I should be on Blizzcon.
Yeah, and to be fair, there is at least something for a couple of us here because there was some stuff on Diablo. There was quite a lot on World of Warcraft.
And nothing for
heavy.
Eddie, yeah.
Nothing for Eddie, but that's exactly how we like it. There was a heavy focus on World of Warcraft there at this year's BlizzCon. So this happened over the 3rd and the 4th, which is Friday, Saturday last week? Yeah, exactly that. And we had, firstly, the return of Chris Metzen, who was one of the original writers for World of Warcraft and game designers. He also did things like StarCraft and Diablo, the originals.
Ooh,
so
StarCraft.
Kind of a big deal, him coming back.
Yep.
For... especially as he's credited a lot with the story of the original Warcraft games and World of Warcraft. So him returning and announcing the next 3 expansions are all one tied together story was, I think, quite a good move.
So that's for the main World of Warcraft game,
That's for the main retail World of Warcraft, yeah.
Yes.
And they've literally given us a roadmap to 2030 of the next 3 expansions. All of them with a tied together storyline, theoretically. And I think they're basically trying to do damage control from the expansion before last, which everyone went, this is the worst story we've ever heard.
Oh, right, okay.
So they brought back Chris Metzen. He appears to be doing a good job. A lot of people were quite excited by this.
But that is not the World of Warcraft you play.
It is not, no. But there was news on that as well.
Okay.
And there's also 2 other versions we're going to touch on here.
Okay, no. This is
yeah, so in Classic, which is the sort of redone versions of the original World of Warcraft games, like each expansion in turn, where we're currently on the 2nd expansion, they announced the 3rd one is coming next year.
And was that the 3rd one in line before? It was at the same... Did you know this was going to be the next one? This
was the one we all feared would be next, yes, because almost everyone who played Classic thinks that this next expansion was where it all went wrong.
Okay. Good.
So not sure who's looking forward to that one, but it's coming next year, apparently.
Do you think they'll change anything up as a result of...
I would be very surprised if they do.
Oh.
And to be fair, looking at the features it actually brings in, you do go, oh, maybe it's not all of the bad stuff at once.
Now you're
It
from the
just
future,
felt like
it might be easier to look back and say that it was not so bad.
Exactly, but I'm pretty certain. So the big thing that happens in Cataclysm is the old world, the bit that everyone had been playing in for years, is completely remade. Like there's equivalent of gigantic earthquakes shaking the whole place. They redo a load of the zones. They made it flying friendly for everyone.
That keeps it fresh.
Yeah, but that was the thing. But for everyone who liked the original game and liked running around the world, they're like, you've just torn up everything I enjoyed.
Okay,
and
that's
made it
a bit
much more
harsh.
cartoony at once. So that's where a big part of the problem comes from. But as I said, that's coming this spring.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the most interesting bit of news was actually something called the Season of Discovery, which is new servers for the classic game. But what they're doing this time is capping it at level 25, 60 being the top end. But level 25 for now is as far as you can reach. They'll then later on update it to 40, 50, and then 60. And in doing so, they're bringing in a bunch of fresh content, which is like max level for those phases. And they're also changing the way all the classes work. So a mage can now suddenly heal. A rogue or a warlock can now tank. They're basically going, anything you've thought about, any creative options we've considered, they're now on the table for this one.
So does this affect normal? Does this affect your game, your classic
this
character?
One, this one will not affect it at all. These will be separate servers that only.
So a separate seasonal server.
Yes.
Okay, just like Diablo seasons.
Exactly. Yeah. So they already do this. They already have Season of Mastery, which is like that. And then when you reach max level and do everything in that season, you go on to a normal classic server.
Oh, you move over.
Now, yeah, it transports over. Now they're bringing in this Season of Discovery, which is just a bit more license to get creative, to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I actually think this could be absolutely brilliant because it's basically rewriting the book and going, everyone who knew how to play mage, now you don't know how to play mage.
Yeah, I love it, yeah.
Same for all the others. Like, that is really interesting. And changing some of the old content in that original world, refreshing it all, is a really good idea as well.
Yep.
In small doses. And if it doesn't work, it's a seasonal thing.
Well, Blizzard are great at this. I mean, I only know this through Diablo and Diablo 3, is that this is what they do. Like, mixing it up in their seasons so that things are totally... where you can create completely broken, kind of, and overpowered things and whatever. And that's the fun of it. Like, that's the point of it.
Exactly. So I think that should be a really positive experience for people.
Cool.
And they've already talked about how they'll have to make a sort of a classic era server that functions with this because of all the changes they're bringing in.
Yeah.
To that version, it'll have to have its own unique home after the season's over. So that could be a very cool thing.
Okay.
And the final thing I wanted to note for World of Warcraft is, we've talked about it before, Ben, you've mentioned it, consoles. They freely admitted that, yes, of course they think about bringing it to consoles all the effing time.
And also, they've been told.
Yeah.
Now, by Microsoft, this must come to console.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a very big thing.
This sounds like the no-brainer of the century, doesn't it?
Massively.
Make it work.
It's huge. Yeah.
So, in my mind, it's like, if Baldur's Gate can be on a console, and I could be completely off point, so correct me if I'm wrong, Pete. But,
no, I agree on that exact point.
Yeah, if Baldur's Gate can be on console, World of Warcraft.
If it can, it works. It definitely can.
And I know Baldur's Gate is a turn-based game, but the fact that you can access so many different things, it does say World of Warcraft has to go in that direction. And it's such a big thing. Like, this if World of Warcraft was on console, I may be playing it. You know, that you've always said to me, it's the game that, like,
you would have absolutely loved it.
Yes.
At a point. Yes,
if I got into it at the right time, this would have been my game that I played. I wouldn't have played anything else.
Yes. Nor would you have seen us for 10 years or so.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
This podcast wouldn't be happening, and that might be a blessing.
At least for me and Eddie. But no. The other thing, just before, because I know you want to jump into Diablo in a second, but the other thing to mention, which applies to both games, I think, we do forget Blizzard do the best fucking cinematics.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they do.
They
always
absolutely nail them. Like, they look
nail it.
fantastic.
Yeah. I tell you what, if there was a Cinematic of the Year award, which there probably is somewhere, Diablo 4, just before the final battle in the campaign, like right at the end, has like it's about 10-minute fucking, and it's absolutely insane. Watch it on YouTube. It's so amazing. Like, I think I was a little drunk at the time, but it was fantastic.
But genuinely, like, not even just that one will be amazing. A bunch of the ones for Warcraft, original Warcraft 3, or StarCraft. Like, if you run them together, they are movies, and they
There's
are
two StarCraft ones. There's the one where the Zerg invade the planet. That is a fucking epic movie. But even a better one, and I've even saved it on my YouTube. It's one of 14 YouTubes that I've saved. It's of where the alien guy is coming across the main Zerg commander.
Goes after Kerrigan.
That
is amazing. Yes.
That is the best, honestly, the best game clip I've ever seen. Yeah. And it was fucking 20 years ago and they still can't beat it. But yeah.
But this is it.
Yeah,
a bunch of the new ones are also amazing. I just think maybe you were more attached to that one because you loved StarCraft. But yes.
They
do nail these cinematics.
Yeah, they are absolutely insane with them. They also had a cinematic for what I'm going to talk about now, the expansion for Diablo 4. Yeah. So they announced the first expansion to Diablo 4. Obviously, they're doing the seasons that have come out, and they're currently in Season 2, which is similar to the World of Warcraft you mentioned earlier. But this one will be called The Vessel of Hatred, and it's coming late 2024. It promises...
Isn't that Pete's nickname?
I was going to say, that is something I go... Anyway,
yeah, it does sound like Pete's nickname. Yeah.
Good. It promises new ways to play and new evils to vanquish. But it will continue the base story of the game. There will be a new region, which Eurogamer called the lush jungles of Torjan from...
Jungles are always lush. You never get like a
Diablo 2.
jungle.
No, you don't get a non-lush jungle.
An average jungle.
You know, they're very...
No, it's always lush.
There's rain and shit, you know, always luscious. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
A washed out jungle. Yeah.
A barren jungle.
A barren jungle, yes.
Just a load of mud.
Yeah. Few dead trees.
Yeah. You don't get that. No. But yes, new region, jungle region, that was seen in Diablo 2. There will also be a new class. So there was a data mine about a year ago that pretty much got everything that was announced. So that was pretty cool, actually. But these, supposedly, the data mine said that this new class will be called the Spiritborn, and it will be nature themed. That's unconfirmed, and it doesn't sound particularly inspiring. I'd love a vampire class, and supposedly I think my girlfriend was saying that in Diablo Immortals there's some kind of vampire class or something. I thought they were going to introduce that class in Season 2 because it's about vampires, but actually you just hunt them. You don't...
Ben, why do you want to live in Twilight?
I don't know. It's good. The first film is the best film, Pete. So I'll tell you that.
Wow.
Not the best of all films, but the best of the Twilight films.
Jeez,
good. I like that you watch them all just to make sure you have a preference as well.
I think I've watched them all, but I'm a man who doesn't have particularly... my interest can't be held that long. So.
Where am I meant to go in this linear game that we'd never have guessed?
Exactly. Yeah. Must look it up. If I don't immediately know, I'm looking up. My time is precious. Even though I've played 40 hours of video games this week.
Precious, you have more free time than
precious time, my friend. Football Manager is waiting. But anyway, on this Diablo, more details will come in the summer, but it's cool that we're getting an expansion for Diablo 4 because I'm, as I said earlier, continuing to play it. It's very good. Diablo 4 is a good game.
Yes. Fantastic.
There were some other things. I don't know if you just want to...
There was a bunch of stuff on. There's a tabletop Diablo RPG coming, Ben. Do you not want to jump on that?
You know what? I'll have a look, but it'll be expensive because these things fucking are.
Yeah, very true.
So, no.
Yeah. We also learnt that Hearthstone has a new major expansion. It gets these a lot.
Hearthstone is fucking huge, though, isn't it?
It's massive, yes.
I know nothing about it. I know fucking nothing about it other than it's fucking huge.
Genuinely, it's just a bit like Gwent from The Witcher. Genuinely.
I gave it a try.
Yeah. It's quite fun.
I thought
It's not that
the
great.
Elder Scrolls card was much better, but they've stopped doing that now. So
Have you looked into that Elder Scrolls Fallout Shelter type game? Yeah, I know you said you couldn't get it on your mobile ID because it was on iOS, but
yeah,
are both of you on iOS, aren't you? You're not on Android?
Yeah, we're both iOS, sadly.
Ah, okay.
yeah, sozzle.
Okay, right, fine.
I keep tabs on it though.
Eventually it'll be on iOS.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Other than that, we also saw Overwatch 2 getting a new hero.
Yep.
Their first Samoan hero. I didn't realise that was a priority, but I'm proud of them for that.
Yep.
Respect. Yeah, so that was something. And, of course, Daddy Phil rocked up to show ownership. I mean, he wanted to show that this is what money can buy, kids.
Daddy Phil.
Yes. So he rocked up to the opening ceremony in a surprise appearance. I assume it was just a surprise for us in the audience and not actually for the organisers as well, but I kind of hope it was both.
I bet he got a whoop. I wish he did like a "you're breathtaking" movement type thing.
He is not that charismatic.
He's relatively charismatic. He's smiling.
He's not big. Compared to you, he's charismatic, but fuck me.
It's not
That's,
Keanu.
actually, that's not very hurtful. I respect that because I think he's quite charismatic. So yeah.
There you go.
But you're asking
It's
a lot
compliment.
for him to compete with Keanu. Either way, I did like it basically stamping down on the this is Microsoft now.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Yeah. It's a perfect event, wasn't it?
Yeah. Get wrecked, kids. We own you.
Shit.
And that's all we're actually going to talk about because obviously it's what we're interested in. There was more. It's 2 flipping days of stuff.
Yes.
2 days this goes on for.
Yes.
And more than 10 million people watch it. It's crazy.
I've heard the actual event itself was actually quite poorly managed.
That does not surprise me.
A lot of people are putting complaints online.
Yeah, but in the virtual world, just watch things virtually, guys. You have your own.
There you go. Stay at home, kids.
Yes.
Fuck's sake, Pete. You would be the advert for that, wouldn't you? Jesus.
But if anyone had any thoughts or opinions they wanted to throw at us, Ben, for our interesting hot takes today, how would they do so?
Yes, well, you can email us podcast@grumpygamers.co.uk or you can tweet us at grumpygamerspod. And also say, like, a couple of weeks ago, I said ways to promote this podcast would be to tell a friend. Also, if you could leave a review on Spotify or wherever you listen to the podcast, that would be helpful because I think that that bumps things up. So
Yes, it does.
we don't have that many. We actually have a relatively small number of people who have reviewed compared to the download figures. So it'd be nice to see that figure rise because there's plenty of people who listen to this who have not clicked. And you don't even have to give it 5 stars. You can just give it like 1 if you wanted. I mean, that still, I think, give the algorithm a boost.
Because they kept moaning at us to review it.
Yeah, that's fine. 1 star's fine, but just any star will do, I think, for the algorithm.
Can I review it?
Yeah, you can. Just go on to Spotify or wherever you get it.
I feel we can take this offline, gents.
Yeah, let's just boost those numbers. I mean, they are very rookie numbers by the current numbers.
Right.
So let's get those up.
Well, I'm going to go and review. There you go.
Good.
1 star.
1 star.
Too much oozing and
Terrible. Too much
saliva.
immersion juice.
Juices.
Only Eddie is a good presenter. Everyone else sucks. Yeah.
Then that wouldn't even be me saying it.
Right. But
Banter.
on that bombshell, it is GG.
GG.
GG.